welcome to episode 18 of the Dream Heals 2 and Dream Heals podcast. Now, after last week, after the airport chaos was averted by the air traffic control company NAIR and unions signing an agreement, that diffused last week's strike. Also, the French air traffic control people also called off their strike, not in time for lots and lots of passengers to be either not coming on their flights because they've been cancelled or delayed flights. But shortly after that, now we hear that the Ryanair passengers especially, their worst fears were confirmed yesterday, Thursday, when the unions representing the cabin crew announced the strikes in Spain, Belgium, Italy and Portugal, and they've been called for the July 25th and the 26th. The cabin crew say that the demands have been ignored by the low-cost airline, leaving industrial action as the only way to force Ryanair management to acknowledge their unions and demands, which include improving economic and safety conditions, rostering and workplace culture, reducing agency employment, and giving the staff the right to sick pay. But a key demand is that the employment contracts explicitly recognise national law and jurisdiction in the country a worker is based. Strikes will have a direct impact on around 115,000 passengers daily in Spain and will jeopardise thousands of summer holiday plans. The strikes in individual countries were called after the Europe-wide action was discarded due to all the different legislations applied in each country. So, as a result, the strikes have only been called by the individual unions in each country. Right, as I said, Spain, Portugal, Belgium and Italy. The Ryanair crew cabin have been backed by the International Transport Workers Federation, but they've also said that the cabin crew who joined the industrial action, the effect on airports throughout Europe would be chaotic, as the airline operates 2,000 flights to 37 countries daily. Ryanair have said that they're still in talks and hope to avert any sort of industrial action, but if it does take place, just a very quick reminder there that July the 25th and 26th may be either cancellations, delays, especially on the Ryanair flights. EasyJet and all the other flights, flight companies and flight airlines will still operate, obviously. But if you are booked on the Ryanair flight for those 2 dates, just be mindful that you may get an email to say that they've been cancelled. Going on to Corvera Airport, they're still saying January the 15th to be up and running. Let's see, shall we? But the contract to run 12 shops and restaurants at Corvera Airport will be put out to tender in the coming weeks, and that's according to the state-run airport company Aena. The prices for the units will be similar to those at Murcia San Javier Airport to encourage the businesses to move to the new facilities. That is noted by Aena's spokesman. The amenities are 2 shops selling clothing, shoes, compliments and jewellery, 4 restaurants, a burger bar, that'll be Burger King I expect, a contract for 18 vending machines, a gift and souvenir shop, a sunglasses store, a delicatessen and gourmet product store, and 2 other shops. There's also going to be a contract to run 2 cash points. Aena also revealed that €354,000 will be invested in repairing all the signs and parking areas on the runway and around the airport due to the poor condition after the airport was stood idle and stood empty for 6 years. Another €43,000 will be spent on new lighting. As I said, it's supposed to be up and running by January the 15th, and Aena pointed out that negotiations with airlines are being carried out to encourage them to offer flights from Corvera or move their existing routes from Murcia San Javier to Corvera. So far, only budget operators Jet2 and EasyJet have confirmed that they will move to Corvera once Murcia San Javier is closed down at the end of the year. Quite surprising there that it's only EasyJet and Jet2 that have said that they will be moving their existing routes from Murcia San Javier to Corvera. Ryanair haven't, nor British Airways, nor have Norwegian. So let's see what happens there. If it's only those 2 budget airlines, So expect the prices to be fairly high, as there'll be no competition from the other budget airlines and also some of the other big airlines that might want to fly in there. Beach bars, well, at least you're going to be able to go to some of them. Torrevieja, they'll have their beach bars, and down by San Pedro area, you'll also be able to use their beach bars, as they're not in the Orihuela area. Also, if you went to the Arenales del Sol beach, you'll be able to use the beach bar there, as Elche City has awarded a contract for the beach services there. So at least there's one place or a couple of places there you can go to. Beach bars in our area still, well, you're still not going to be open. There's still a court case going on at the moment, and I can't see any end to that in the near future, to be honest. Nothing's really coming out whether or not the courts are going to decide in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. No one really knows. And you're getting to the end of July by in the next 4 weeks. That's the end of July. August. Well, are the people, if they get awarded to it, are they going to stick with just like a month's worth of real good summer period? Let's see on that. At least so you can use the toilets down the beaches in the Orihuela Costa, but not much else. It's a bit disappointing. I find that it's Orihuela Costa's or Orihuela the council's fault, really. They mucked up on the licences and how they're issued and everything else concerning the beach bars, and it's up to them really to sort of push it as much as they can. I'm quite surprised, really, but this is Spain, and the courts do take their time. In my opinion, I can't see the beach bars opening this summer. If they do, they won't get used that much, I think, because I think people have just decided to maybe do other things or take their own drinks down and other bits and pieces. And anybody who does take them over, are they going to get much money out of the summer period? I don't know. But also Santa Pola, they can't have their beach bars at the moment either, because the new contracts, they had to be put out to tender for each one, and that's in this case for 10 years. It also involves new design beach bars being built specifically, so they couldn't even use the ones that were there. Senora Landa's party were in power in summer 2010, and all beach bars were in an unlawful situation. The PP Council approved giving the contracts to the same people as before in May 2010, but the contracts were not officially awarded until August and were signed between September and November, one as late as February 2011. They also noted that it would have been impossible and illegal to extend the current contracts, except for one kiosk on the Tamarit Promenade. Senora Cipriedi admitted that installation of the beach bars is taking longer than expected, explaining the structures have to last 10 years, so all the procedures had to be approved at full council meetings and had to be suspended while any objections were answered. The current situation in the Santa Pola is that the new contracts have been awarded, all except one have been signed, and the town hall is waiting to receive the applications for the works licences, they explained. The new contracts also regulate noise levels, which was never done before, and resulted in the ex-mayor facing criminal charges for not stopping excessive noise from one bar, for which the town hall now has to pay large fines over several years. The sunshades and hammock are already being put out on the beaches for this weekend, also with a new contract which stipulated using new materials, which are more aesthetically pleasing and hygienic. The last contract in Santa Pola for the beach bars resulted in a lawsuit against the town hall from one of the failed bidders, who won the case in November. There was also many complaints about the cleanliness of the toilets and the concessionary repeatedly failing to comply with conditions such as taking up too much space, deficient signposting and not performing hygiene checks. The beaches department also announced that the public toilets at Playa de la Vente and at Ferradera have been open since June 12th and 14th, following renovations to improve disabled access and facilities. The public toilets at Playa Lisa, Tamarit and Calas de Est will be renovated over the next budget is approved. So not only our beach bars, but Santa Pola as well. They haven't had any beach bars at all. Plastic bag charges. I don't know whether you know or ever remember, but as of Sunday the 1st of July, the law on plastic bags has come into effect. This prohibits the provision of free plastic bags at the point of sale, a bit like they are in the UK. Most supermarkets were already charging, but some smaller outlets were still giving them away for free. Some family-run supermarkets along the Costa were a prime example, but from this week they have to charge as well. Prices would be ranging from 5 to 15 cents, depending on the size of the bag. Even the Chinese shops have a sign stating that there is a charge now. However, there are exemptions, namely that very light bags, less than 15 microns, don't ask me how that much is, I haven't got a clue, which are necessary for reasons of hygiene or are the primary packaging for food such as fruit, vegetables, meat and fish, continue to be free. This means that those that shop for their fruit and veg at the weekly markets will still be getting them for free, but in the interest of the environment, they are asking you to bring your own bag, or better still, invest in a shopping trolley. The final target for this law to work is the total elimination of plastic bags by 2021. Recent figures show that each resident in Spain uses 144 plastic bags per year. So every time you go to the supermarket now, even the local family-run ones, and even the Chinese shops, they will be charging you for a bag. So take your own if you can. Just like it is in the UK at the moment, you're now going to get the first heat wave of the summer. And that's forecast to reach Alicante province and Murcia next week, with temperatures soaring up to 40 degrees centigrade. According to the Alicante University's climatology laboratory, cold air at high altitudes is predicted to move towards western Spain. And this has the effect of pushing hot air from over the north of Africa to the southeast of Spain. The temperatures are expected to be particularly high inland, as an easterly wind would slightly reduce the dramatic increase along the coast. Sleeping will not be easy either, as temperatures at night are also expected to be above average. The public are advised to keep updated on the Spanish meteorology agency AEMET. Local information is all available on the Facebook pages of Alicante's University Climatology Lab, Met Oriola or Proyecto Mastral. So do be careful out there. It's quite warm here in the UK, not as warm as it is over there, as we all know. But just do be careful and take care of yourselves and the pets and your young children. Some public byways have been closed off from San Miguel, and as a result they can't enjoy the countryside and walk along the little side bits, the byways that are there. Some people use them a bit like the little waterways or little paths that are next to the storm drains that we use, and that have been closed off sometimes in our area. So they seem to be doing that, but the builders that are building some villas there, they're using those byways, even though they're not supposed to, for taking all their bits and pieces to the construction site. And as we all know, in the Dream Hills area, there are quite a few trucks going up and down on the Dream Hills 1 urbanisation, which is, it's making a little bit. It's noise. It's early in the mornings, not making the road any better really. A bit unsafe as well, especially with all the zebra crossings or the crossings themselves are down that road that leads to what I call the dartboard roundabout down by the hotel. All of those crossings, they are faded. You can't really see them, and even I don't see them sometimes. Yet we're going slow, and everybody should do. But these trucks, they do thunder along there. So just be careful. A few complaints have been made to the people or to the administrator on Dream Hills 1, She has contacted the Torrevieja Council and other people concerned, and at the moment they're saying that it's up to the local police to try and stop them, but at the moment that is the only route that they can take. Once the road is open from the CV95, obviously it will calm down quite a bit, but no one knows when that road's going to open. That road has been there since I had my house, and that's over 10 years ago, so I can't see that opening really much quicker in any recent times anyway. A bather has died on Torrevieja. They died after suffering a heart attack in the sea at Playa de los Locos on Tuesday morning. The 78-year-old man was found face down in the water close to the shore. They managed to drag him out of the sea, attempted to revive him. Unfortunately, he was unable to be saved, and he passed away before the lifeguard service had started for the day at 11 o'clock. It seems to me that lifeguards not starting until 11 o'clock, when we all know that everybody wants to go down to the sea and have a dip. Also concerns me that there doesn't seem to be any sort of defibrillators about that area, even for members of the public to use. It's concerning me. It concerns me that defibrillators aren't very close, and also defibrillators maybe aren't in some of the outlets there, some of the restaurants or some of the bars, where they could be used if needed or required. It's unfortunate. It does happen. It may not have even saved the gentleman, but it could have. So let's try and get all this defibrillators sorted out. It's also the case without having any beach bars. There's no defibrillators even at the beach bars, where if they were open you'd have defibrillators there. And that would help in anybody that got hurt. Let's keep on pushing for defibrillators, even if the local people have to stump up for them, which is wrong, I know, but it might save some people. Also in Torrevieja, the town hall is to adopt the road system in the town centre. And this is to avoid, in order to improve the traffic flow during the high tourist season. The Mayor, Jose Manuel Dolon, announced that changes will be introduced today. He noted that in order to prevent traffic jams building up on the Paseo Vista Alegre, the roundabout, which was created to give access to the port, opposite the casino building, will be removed every evening from 7 o'clock in the night till 7 o'clock in the morning. Also during the tourist season, motorists driving down Cal Maria Parodi towards the sea will be able to turn left to access the Avenida de Libertad. The town hall also noted that traffic lights on Cal Ramangulud will be adjusted to the level of the traffic foreseen for the very busy period between 2200 hours at night and 2 o'clock in the morning. He said that this will improve traffic flow along the arterial road when the worst summer traffic jams have traditionally occurred. The high season traffic systems will remain in place until the beginning of September. Another unfortunate injury, is a British woman who was on holiday in the area. She was watching a fiesta parade, and bricks from the facade of an apartment block fell several metres onto her head in Rojales. The mayor told Costa Blanca News the victim had been sat on the terrace of the cafe on Sunday night when it happened. He said her husband had sat opposite her at the time, but fortunately was not affected by the falling rubble. She was unconscious and bleeding from the head injuries when the ambulance arrived. She's been stabilised now, and they've been unable to contact the couple as they're on holiday. So they're not on the municipal register, but they would try and get in touch with the people. Yesterday, Town Hall also confirmed that they had actually made contact with the injured woman's husband, and that the victim is still in a serious condition. Hopefully she'll pull through. And more news next week if that appears in the Costa Blanca News at all. but unfortunate that happened. There's also been a bid to remove the Mayor of Orwella. This follows a statement from the PSOE Regional Councillor for Health in the Regional Parliament on Wednesday, who said that no official documents or evidence have been found to prove that Signora Bascaruna ever attended a job he had with the Regional Health Department in Alicante from November 2007 to January 2014. However, he was paid his wages as a GP, totalling €55,000 a year from November 2007 to January 2014, even though he was not officially posted to any health centre. So they'll be looking for him to stand down, otherwise they will do a vote of no confidence. So once again, politics in Spain, we all know what they're like, don't we? Dog beaches. There was supposed to be a specific dog beaches set up in Torrevieja, and the litter bins and the foundations for the signposts were removed and thrown into the sea on Wednesday by malicious people, Councillor for Beaches Javier Manzanares said on Thursday morning. The council's cleaning up and preparing the areas, which are going to be at Punta Marghella and Cala del Morro, and they were scheduled to be open to dogs last month, but no signposts, fences or bags for disposal of dog mess had it been installed by Wednesday evening. The Town Hall's Department for Animals admitted on Tuesday that it is not clear when the dog-friendly beaches will open, but assured the date will be revealed soon and there will be proper inauguration. However, some dog owners took the announcement as permission to take their pets to the beaches last weekend, and this led to some heated arguments and even fights between dog owners and sunbathers. The beach owners argued that dogs are banned on all beaches and there are no signposts allowing them. Although correct, as has been specified before, there are going to be some areas and some beaches in Torrevieja which are going to be dog friendly, but no signs are up. So I can see the bathers' point, and because of all the arguments between the dog owners and sunbathers, the local police reinforcement unit, the GRO, had to intervene to calm both sides down. Dogs on beaches, never really like them, but if you've got beaches set aside for them, I don't see any real problem with that, as long as the signs say so, and people abide by all the rules and do clean up their mess. That'd be great. Anybody like rock music? It's going to be a 4-day international rock music festival, and that's going to be upon us again. It's held at the Municipal Sports Centre in Villena, and that's just northwest of Alicante. And they have a 4-day festival every year, and it's going to be from August the 9th to the 11th. Now, I don't know any of the rock bands that are shown on the area to actually go and see these people, but any rock aficionados, well, you can go there. The tickets for the festival are already on sale, and they cost €100 for the full 4 days, including camping, or €55 per day, except the opening day, which is £8. €8 again, sorry about that. Further information and tickets are available from the website for the tickets. I'll put that onto the show notes for anybody to see. If you want to go there, that's fine. Enjoy yourself. Some people do, some people don't. On to some local news. The Cozy Corner bar is now opened, and there's some very good responses from the residents and holiday makers, owners, anybody really, to go into there. They opened their first day for the England match last week. As we know, we won, and a very good time was had by all. They are going to also provide food from there as well, although being run by some people, friends, and also one of the owners of the CK1 bar. It is going to be run as a separate business. Food will be available. They're also going to be doing cocktails as well. They're just getting onto those now, and hope they do well. It's nice to have that little corner there, and from all reports that I've heard, it's very nicely laid out, and let's see what happens there. But well done to everybody concerned in getting that open, within time, and hopefully they'll keep on going there. As per usual, the Sarai Bar down at the Dream Hills 2 Commercial Centre, they still have their music and food at times, so you can go down there as well. Also, JJ's, they have their new menus, which everybody enjoys going down there for those. Also, all of the new bars, or any of the bars that are up at Vere Park 3 that everybody knows, the Lime Bar, the bar next door, and all of the restaurants up there. Restaurant New, I haven't heard too much about. People have been good reports of there. I'll pop by there. I'm out next week on Tuesday night until early Friday. So I will be making some visits to some of these places just to check up and see how they're doing. As we know, the Ristorante La Strada, the Italian restaurant from Vere Park 5, has now moved. And we know where they've gone to, as notices have been put up, I believe. Also, we've got the Dream Hills 2 Fiesta happening in August. Notices have gone up, and in each of the releases on Dream Hills 2, and also for the tickets are available from one of the people on Dream Hills themselves. So notices have gone up, tickets which will include either paella or hog roast. Music will be done by TJ Jones, I believe, and also Jacuzzi. They will be playing there as well. So, once again, thank you for listening. If there's any sort of holidays and anniversaries, birthdays, any sort of notices that you want put up in podcasts, which will go out every week, then please get back to me. I am at dreamhillspodcast@btinternet.com. So, once again, thank you for listening. And I'll see you all next week, and may even see some of you when I'm out there early next week as well. So once again, thank you for listening, and goodbye.